really one player who deserves more playing time over the final 6 games. Usually when teams go into the bye week, they take stock of themselves and decide who has been playing too much and who hasn't been playing enough. Who hasn't been playing enough? I have no idea who starts.
I thought it was Maverick. I thought it was Jack.
It could be Jack.
Yeah, on this one, I'm going to say I kind of agree with what Mav wrote today as far as Willis, but I also go along earlier. I said it a little bit earlier. I think it's going to be a combination of Willis and McKinley, really to see what those two can bring to the table and which of those is the guys that you might want to bring back next year. I think that's the direction that they need to go on that side of the ball.
I like it.
Kyle Youscheck, please utilize him. Come on, man. Why do you not just line him up straight up in the slot? Why is he not being a primary target in the offense to get the ball to? It's just beyond me. It feels like I really been trying. I should have been looked this over, but I feel like compared to last year, compared to how many times he's gotten the ball compared to this year, it's really declined. It's taking a hit, at least impact wise. Was watching on the TV. I don't know if he's just protecting Kyle Youscheck in terms of his cardio, in terms of hey, we just gotta. He's doing enough in terms of lead blocking and such that we don't want to overwork him, especially maybe they're the paranoid mindset because he is known to get some injuries and his team's already rid with so many injuries as it stands. But I just don't understand.
You know what they're doing? You know what they're doing? Conspiracy theory time. They're driving his value down so they can resign him. Hey, man, you didn't have as many touches this year. Hey, you're getting a little older. We still like you, though. But, the business, your numbers a little down. That's what I think.
But even when it looked like Hope was doing good, I mean, that just makes sense. I think if Hope looked like even worse than it was, but even like the first 4 or 5 games, it's like he still wasn't getting used enough where, the sky was the limit at that time. I mean, I don't know. I like that theory enough too. It actually makes sense, but man, how petty you got to be to do that?
Petty. Maverick.
Jordan Willis has won 1.5 sacks in the last 3 games. That's besides Kerry Hyder, the only edge rusher, I believe, with even a half sack in those 3 games. I know there's some guys getting paid more than him to do that, but Jordan Willis is producing. And the other guy I would like to see is, because I have no clue what his talent level is, he's not being thrown the ball, is Charlie Warner. And I would just like to see him involved a little more. Why did they draft him to be the blocking tight end? I think he's getting like 10 snaps a game. Levine Toilolo was getting more than that, I think, in that role. So is he not producing as a blocker? Is he not a good enough receiving decoy to run him out there? I want to see him. We didn't get a preseason. I just want to see him play, especially if they lose to the Rams, where the season is probably close to on ice as it can be. I would like to see Werner get a couple more snaps.
Those are good names. I'm just writing some names down here so I don't forget them. I got 3. 1, Austin Walter. I would like to see him. I think when he's been on the field, he's shown good things and deserves more opportunities. Running back, Austin Walter. 2, I'd like to see Kevin White. If River freaking Craycraft can get a start in 51 snaps, I think Kevin White can get like a little more. I think he got 1 snap this year or something like that. I'd like to see Kevin White, wide receiver. And then finally, I want to see Justin School one more time, because there is a possibility that Trent Williams won't come back, and they got to know if there's anything there with Justin School. We know he can't block Zadarius Smith. That is proven. Or Preston Smith. But does he have anything, or do the Niners really need to overhaul the offensive tackle room? Because I don't know what they got at right tackle either. They should probably get a little more data on Justin School before entering the offseason, if possible. That's the last one I could think of. Anyone else? Not really?
I mean, we kind of know what School is now, though. We saw the way he played in his last game is the same way we saw him finish in his last start in 2019. Yeah. On the Youscheck thing, the one thing that I've been thinking about with him is we're paying that guy $5 million a year. I remember when the 49ers were winning Super Bowls and getting NFC Championship games for 3 years in a row with a guy that they drafted as a defensive end out of college, who then when he got hurt in the middle of the season, they brought another defensive tackle over to play fullback. If you guys remember that in 2013, so. That's true. That's a they're spending a lot of money there for a guy that they just don't use. Yep,
that's right. Yeah, the Niners. Who they put back there? Was it Isaac Sopoaga for a little bit?
Tukafu, didn't he get back there?
Tukawafu, DeMarcus Dobbs. Yeah, you can get guys. That's true.
Tukawafu and Bruce Miller was a DN come out of Central Florida. So
you don't have to spend $5 million a year on a blocker who goes back and forth in motion. You're spending on touches, and they don't give them the touches.
Nope.
But
How about punt return, just seeing anyone of substance, like if you want to go with Richie James, use Richie James every time. If you want to go with Ayuk, use Ayuk. Don't keep bouncing different guys in and out, especially Trent Taylor, because if he's a fair catch machine, why isn't he catching the ball on fair catches?
Speak up, Trent. Ken Webster didn't hear you, and there's no one in the stadium.